Hi everybody, it's Sam at Mixed Up Craft. Thank you for watching today. I'm going to be making a small desk calendar. Now I made one last year which was an A4 size and I loved it. I used it all the time, but I did find it was a bit too big to have on my desk. So this is a smaller version. Now this is already a store-bought one which I purchased from Muji, which is a Japanese store, but I'll share all the links. You can buy inexpensive calendars from many stores, so you might have some that you got for Christmas that you've got lying around. So I wanted to make this look a bit more fun and eye-catching. It was very dull, so I've pulled all the actual month pages out, and I'm just going now and cutting them down, and my final size is 6 3/8 of an inch by 5 1/4. Sorry, 6 3/4 by 5 1/4. And you can see them just cut them all down so they're all the same size. Then I'm bringing in the 8x8 Forever Free pack, and I use the full 8x8 sheet. I don't lose any of that print, and I don't cut into it at all. So you can see there I'm just playing around just to see how that's going to look. Now, rather than just sticking them directly onto the paper, which looks nice, those sheets, although they're thick, they did show through some of the darker images on the papers. So I end up going along, and you can see now matting them on a matching, just plain, it was just copy paper, but just coloured copy paper. You can see now I'm just sticking them down, just giving it a small little frame. So you just want to make, cut this just slightly larger than that actual month sheet there that I've got, month calendar, sorry. And then just trim down all of the sizes. All of the sizes? I'm not talking right at all today. All of the sides, so you get a nice equal border. And now you can see when I sit that down against that 8x8 paper, it just looks nice. So again, sticking that one down, and then I just go through all of my months and do that on every single one. So I pulled out 12 different decorative papers from that Forever Free 12 by 12 8x8 paper pack. And yeah, it was just a nice way to use up papers. You might have a lot lying around, and you get to appreciate all the prints for the next year. So I thought it was quite nice. You can see there I've done all of mine with just different backgrounds and mats and stuff, so it looks really good. So next I am just going to work out where I want to put my ring binders binder hoops. These are 1.5 inches, and again I'll share all the links in my blog. So I'm just looking across there, and I end up coming in at 2.25 inches from both sides. So 2.25 in there from the right and 2.25 in from the left, and I come down 3/4 of an inch. You can just roughly see that with the ruler, but it's 3/4 of an inch down. I've got the little dot there that I've just created with my biro, and then I'm just going to go along and hole punch over those little markers. And then rather than measuring every single one, all you've got to do is grab the next one, line it up with the one that you've already hole punched, and you're just basically tracing those holes. Then pop that one to one side and then use that one to do the next one, and just work through that way, and it's much easier. So now you can see I'm just going through just to check that they all line up nicely, just putting those rings through, and there you can see it's starting to come together. So I'm really pleased so far. Next, I want to just make sure it's nice and strong, because it's obviously going to be used for the next year. So I'm just using some white eyelets, and I've got my pliers there, and I'm just squashing them on, and it's just it just finishes the product. So I mean, if you did want to sell these or give them as a nice gift to a friend, by doing these little extras, I think just makes it look that little bit more special. So I just go through now and do all of those, and it just thickens the whole top part. You can see there the white against all those patterns looks really nice. And yeah, it was all coming together really nicely. So now I'm going to make the base. So this is a piece of 8 by A4 length. So it's 11 3/4, 11 5/8. And you're basically going to score at 8, then you're going to score at 9.5, and then you're going to score at 11. Okay. Then you will need to fold it over. So you've got a mountain, then a valley, and then a mountain. So you're basically having that shape there. Okay, then you'll need another piece which is 8 by 8.5, and you're going to score at 8 and just burnish over that fold, and that's what we're going to use to connect them together. And this is going to make our stand. So it's a stand that's just like the one that I shop brought, so I've just made it bigger. So along the bottom of that one with the mountain and valley folds, you just want to add some glue to that. It's almost like a 1/2 inch tab, and stick it to the end where you don't have that folded part on that other piece of cardstock. So you can see that I'm just sticking it down. So that's creating the base, which you can see there. And then that tab at the top now on that other piece that we scored and cut, you just again want to pop your glue along that 1/2 inch tab, and then fold in the bottom and fold the whole thing down, so you've got your two 8 by 8 pieces kind of marrying up perfectly together. And there's your stand. Really, really easy to do. And this is very similar to the stand that I made last year. And I will link in that calendar because, again, I did really like that one. Now I want to create the holes again. So I'm just tracing over the ones that we'd already done. That way you know that you're going to get it exactly the same. And then with a little bit more force, because you've got to go through 2 bits. This is strong cardstock. This is 300 GSM. So it's really strong to work as a stand. And then just start popping them all back on again. That is it. It's finished. It's such a quick, very easy thing to do. You just need, obviously, those ring binders. Most of the stuff is from your stash. You don't have to put the eyelets on there if you don't want to. You can see now just finishing it off. Fasten them all, and there is my 2019 desk calendar. That honestly, it took me about an hour, just because I had to go through and cut, you know, all the paper, the mats really. That was probably the more time consuming part, because all the papers were 8x8, so it just comes straight from the pack. So it was really, really quick, and I love it. So hopefully I've inspired you. It's not too late to do these. I think they look great. You can see there, it's just a nice way to appreciate. I say before, you get all these lovely papers in paper packs, and we sometimes don't like to cut into them. This is another nice project to just enjoy them, you know, see them for what they are. And each month you're obviously going to have a different one. You can obviously specialize it to the months, have Halloween themed papers, Valentine's themed, Christmas themed. I haven't. I just wanted it to just be just nice and bright for 2019. So yeah, that's my this year's desk calendar. So a little bit smaller, but I think this one's going to work a bit better for me. Hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to see more. Thanks for watching. Bye.